You've made the decision to make Jesus Lord of your life, boss of your life. Now what? Well, Jesus tells us to follow him. Over and over again in the Bible, Jesus asks people to follow him. He says to Andrew, follow me. He says to Peter, follow me. He says to Matthew, follow me. He says to all of his disciples, and disciples means followers, follow me. He says to the crowds who come to see him, follow me. Here's the thing about following Jesus. It's not just a single moment in time. It's a continual daily decision to keep following, keep trusting, and to keep believing in Jesus. It's like a journey. And listen, when I say following Jesus, it isn't like following someone on Instagram. This is all about learning from and being close to and becoming more like Jesus. As we follow Jesus, he begins to teach us about who he is. This is where God continues to transform our hearts and minds. And in this process, we start to live more like Jesus. We start to love and serve others like he did. This is why the Bible says, and the Lord, who is the Spirit, makes us more and more like him as we are changed into his glorious image. Paul wrote that in 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verse 18. This means as we spend time with the Lord, talking to him in prayer, listening to him, reading the Bible, being in a worship service and in a small group and serving others, we become more and more like him. Now, what do you need in your hiking bag for this journey with Jesus? Well, primarily you need faith. And faith is what keeps you going in your relationship with God. It gives you what you need to climb spiritual mountains, so to speak, even when life gets really, really hard. So, how do you get more faith? Well, faith is something you build. It is like a muscle. When you lift weights, it causes your muscles to become stronger, get bigger. It's the resistance of the weights that does this. In the same manner, it's resistance that causes your faith muscle to get stronger and greater. The Bible says, dear brothers and sisters, when troubles of any kind come your way, consider it an opportunity for great joy. For you know that when your faith is tested, your endurance has a chance to grow. So let it grow, for when your endurance is fully developed, you will be perfect and complete, not needing anything. James 1, 2 through 4. You might be thinking, that doesn't sound like fun. Well, honestly, sometimes it's not fun. But the result of testing brings about greater and greater faith. You build up your faith and your endurance. You become tough as nails. As you increase your faith, you're building endurance for the journey ahead. When you say yes to God, even when it's hard, your faith muscle begins to grow. When you trust, even when things are confusing, when you lean into God, when something disappointing happens in your life, rather than turning away from him, all of this builds up your faith. When your faith grows, not only do you have what you need for the journey ahead, but it also becomes easier for you to say yes to God the next time. You've watched how he helped you before, and it gives you the faith for the next challenge ahead. You're building a history with God. So my challenge for you this week is try this over the next 7 days. Identify 2 challenges in your life that God could be using to build your faith muscle. It could be something at work or in your marriage or with raising your kids. Maybe you're a student and it's related to your schoolwork. Maybe it's something with your health or the health of a loved one. Maybe it's a past event or a present addiction. Maybe it's a financial issue. Each time you think of your challenge or are actively in the middle of it, say a prayer to God, asking for his help. Now, coming up in the next video, I'll give you 2 more faith builders to help you grow stronger in your faith and in your spiritual endurance so you're ready for the journey. I'll see you next week.